Welcome back everybody. Today we are here again with Warframe for another build video looking at Loki or Loki Prime. Now Loki and Loki Prime are the trickster Warframes. Based on the theme of the Norse god Loki, this Warframe is focused around manipulating your enemies. With no direct damage capabilities, you instead will focus on stealth and distraction. Loki's passive is Wall Grapple, which allows him to use Wall Latch 10 times longer than any other Warframe in the game. Loki's first ability, Decoy, simply creates a holographic decoy of Loki that draws enemy fire. The decoy has 400 shields and 200 health with a duration of 25 seconds without mods at max rank. The decoy will show a Loki wielding Leto, or if using Loki Prime, wielding a Let's Prime. While not able to directly damage enemies through the holographic gunfire, the decoy is able to cause impact, puncture, and slash procs, though the effects will be minuscule. The decoy will appear wherever the targeting reticule is at the time of casting, but if aimed at the ceiling or sky, will appear directly below that point. If the decoy is placed where enemies are unable to reach it, Grineer and Corpus enemies will continue trying to aim at the decoy until it fades away, while Infested will shift their aggro to another target. The augment Savior Decoy causes the decoy to absorb fatal damage dealt to Loki and immediately swap locations with him. This also provides a 50% casting speed increase to decoy only. For Loki's second ability, Invisibility, he goes into Predator mode and camouflages himself similar to the way you see in the movies. While invisible, Loki is completely untargetable, though enemies will continue to attack near his last seen location and will try to fight back when attacked. In this state, Loki will also receive stealth damage multipliers to his melee attacks if done without bumping into the enemy first. Loki's invisibility will also be applied to any companion he has with him. While invisible, Loki is also undetectable by security cameras and certain laser traps. The augment Hushed Invisibility reduces weapon noise by 100% while invisible, giving you that ultimate stealth mode until you bump into a target, of course. Loki's third ability is called Switch Teleport. Where Ash teleports to his target to attack, Loki simply switches places with his target, similar to the movie Trading Places, so he can become rich and make his enemy poor. Switch Teleport can be cast on both friendly and hostile targets within 75 meters without mods at max rank. Targets must be in direct line of sight, however. Using Switch Teleport on an enemy will cause them to become briefly confused, the same way Grineer commanders stun you when they switch places with you. This ability is very useful as a way to recover a fallen ally if they are surrounded by enemies. Adding in the Safeguard Switch augment, any ally you switch teleport with will become invulnerable for 6 seconds afterwards, making you their savior, their hero, their entire reason for being. Loki's most popular ability is his fourth ability, Radial Disarm. This ability sends out a wave of energy breaking the projectile-based weapons of enemies in range, forcing them to resort to melee combat only. The initial pulse will temporarily stun enemies in addition to permanently disarming them. At max rank without mods, this pulse will travel 20 meters. Certain enemy units, such as Ospreys, Orokin drones, most bosses, and more, will also receive up to 500 impact damage from the pulse. The augment Irradiating Disarm adds a radiation proc for 9 seconds to the ability, applying the confusion status to enemies, causing them to attack each other as well. Now let's take a look at my builds. For my first build, I have made invisibility the main point. With higher duration and efficiency, you can cast invisibility, and by the time the ability runs out, you will have regained the energy spent through Energy Siphon. I have also included in this build a higher range to improve Radial Disarm, and included the augment Irradiating Disarm to allow for confusion between enemies. My second build is focused entirely on Irradiating Disarm. With this build, I have lowered my duration a bit but kept my efficiency high so that I can cast invisibility a lot while running around casting Irradiating Disarm. I have also increased the range up to 235% to maximize how many enemies can be affected by Irradiating Disarm. My third build, I don't use much but when I do, it is mainly to be a support build. This build is themed around 3 augments. The Radial Disarm augment, which has been featured in both of my other builds because of the crowd control ability it provides. I've also included Savior Decoy augment to allow myself some protection against fatal damage. And of course the augment Safeguard Switch, which helps to protect allies when they are being swarmed by enemies or when they need to be revived. Now let's talk about weapon choices for Loki. Since Loki is a stealth style frame, any kind of stealth weapons such as bows are very useful with Loki because it keeps from giving away your position while invisible. Using the augment Hushed Invisibility synergizes well with loud, high damage weapons such as Tonkor or Tigress Prime. If you will be using Irradiating Disarm, the Rakta Dark Dagger will synergize well as you will receive overshields through damaging enemies while they are afflicted with the radiation proc. If you're going to be using Invisibility a lot, which is what most Loki players do, then a dagger equipped with Covert Lethality mod will tie in well using stealth attacks. Well, that is it for today's build video on Loki and Loki Prime. Again, he is the stealth trickster Warframe, where you will be manipulating your enemies and making them do the dirty work for you. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button. Also make sure you hit subscribe and tick the notification bell if you haven't already done so. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter if that is more your preference. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Loki builds I presented today. And if you would like to include your own Loki build, love to hear what it is. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm your host, Mr. Spicy, and I will see you guys in the next video.